China, the weather is not that favorable to enjoy the solar eclipse. The good for now is right now at Changbai Mountain, a little bit cloudy, but to view this time's partial solar eclipse, we are at the best position. We are at the Changbai Mountain. This is Ardao Baihe County. But we always talk about it should be really careful to view the eclipse, should protect ourselves. So you need to prepare yourself, otherwise you will burn your eyes. So we have the sunglasses. I cannot really see everything clear, but we have to wear something to protect our eyes. Otherwise, it's really damage your eyes. So we talk about principally actually sunglasses, not really that helpful. We talk about in our traditional thinking, we think about like from the eye-colored glasses or the eye-colored films. So it's good for us to look at the eclipse. Actually, it is not that helpful. We talk about looking directly at the sun can lead to the permanent eye damage or blindness. So we talk about, you think about like you look at the sun directly, you think it's not hurt, it's not that painful, but unfortunately, when you're back home, that will be a permanent eye damage. So we'd like to emphasize one more time to all our audience and viewers. Please search online or search the articles to find the best way to protect yourself, especially find the designated protectors, eye protectors, the goggles, to help yourself, to protect yourself. And also for the viewers, we also have the films that you can put on the telescope. So the goggles or the other eye protectors are necessary to have when we look directly to the eclipse. We talk about like even during the middle of the day, we also need something to protect our eyes. So like for today, especially this something happened during the evening. For our partial solar eclipse, especially like today, we're a little bit cloudy. Do you think the sunglasses are good enough? Of course, it's better to have more protection than just the eye, than the sunglasses, especially for the young kids. Please do not look directly at the sun. So like back to our young generations, when I was a kid, someone gave me a piece of colored film. So I was so interested and really happy to have one and look directly to the sun, but I didn't remember whether that brings something like harm to my eyes. But I really like to emphasize one more time to all our viewers, please protect yourself, especially your eyes, when you view the total eclipse or partial eclipse. So we are at the Changbai Mountain, and we talk about the first contact will happen at the 6:02. I believe that's already happened, right? So for the first contact, that marks the beginning of the eclipse. So we talk about we have a quite heavy cloud. So maybe let's talk about 10 minutes later. We can have a better view. So we don't know whether we can have a closer look. So right now I believe the first contact of eclipse already happened. That should happen at 6:02 local time. So let's provide a better view. I think from time-wise, the first contact already happened at 6:02. It's 18:02 local time. But we talk about actually not like the total eclipse or the annular eclipse. The partial eclipse sometimes is not that easy to tell. And we talk about the last contact will be a 7:02. That's a 19:02 local time. So we talk about there will be 3 contacts. So the first contact and also the totality and the last contact. So we talk about what exactly they are. So we talk about the beginning of the eclipse. No matter it's total eclipse or the annular eclipse or the hybrid eclipse or the partial eclipse, we always have that first contact. So that first contact, so when the moon's lip or edge is exactly tangential to the sun's limb, that's the first contact. And then we're coming to the second contact, which means very soon it will start the whole process of the eclipse. And then to the totality, which means the moon obscures the entire disk of the sun. I hope that sounds easier for our audience to understand. So like you represent sun and my left hand is the moon. So we talk about the moon actually coming in the middle between the sun and the earth. So the moon actually blocks the entire disk of the sun. So we talk about this time, especially for the northern part of China, it's good condition for them to view this time's eclipse. Of course, time varies based on where you are, especially for the first contact, totality, and the fourth contact or the last contact. So right now we are at Changbai Mountain, so it's a little bit cloudy. So let's adjust our view. So let's think about whether we can change our aperture. Just now we just viewed a colorful cloud. So that's really beautiful. I hope that the beautiful cloud can send my Mr. Right to me. So we talk about it today because it's a partial solar eclipse. So we will see the first contact, totality, and fourth contact. We talk about a different type of solar eclipse. That's the total eclipse, annular eclipse, and partial eclipse. But actually, total eclipse is really rare to see. So that's if we talk about the total eclipse at the same place, that needs to take around 300 years. So that should be happen at one place. We talk about if we want to look at the eclipse at the one place. Let's say, for example, today we see the total eclipse. And next time at the same place, want to see the total eclipse, that will take 300 years. So we talk about a total eclipse. It's really rare to see. So around the world, let's say, if we trace the sun, so we can view one total eclipse every 18 months. So we talk about the earliest time in China with the happening of total eclipse. So I think you asked the right person. I'm totally empty. I know nothing about this part. So I also did a little bit homework. There were 7 total eclipses in China. That's back to the 1907. So that's Inner Mongolia and Heilongjiang province. So that's the first time in China to see a total eclipse. So still right now it's a very happy cloud. So we don't know whether we can bring a very clear view or scene of the partial eclipse, but still that create a lot of the twilight beauty. And there are a lot of very beautiful poems describing the twilight, the beautiful scene. So I hope all the viewers can enjoy this beautiful scene, no matter whether we can see exactly the whole process of a partial eclipse or not. But still, right now, I believe this is a really good momentum, and the whole atmosphere is really good for us to enjoy. And also, if our viewers can sing some songs or any poem you would like to talk to us, we talk about the sunset or talk about twilight. There are a lot of beautiful songs and poems to describe the beautiful scene happening right now. And there are a lot of quite popular songs in China to describe the current scene. So I would like to share with my viewers. I believe right now what I'm saying is it casts 1,000 beams. So we are right now at Erdao Baihe County, the Changbai Mountain. And with us, there are around 20,000 people. They are the solar tracer. And also, if our viewers, you're not right now at Changbai Mountain and also would like to view the partial eclipse, I would really like to talk and share our feelings with our viewers. So I don't know whether at our Yangtze River we also can view the beautiful scene of a partial eclipse. For the majority of the northern China, is with the best condition to view this scene, and this is also the last time to view the partial eclipse this year in China. Right now, the first contact of partial eclipse already happened. Right now, coming to the totality, so it's a little bit cloudy and also dark. And we change our aperture, and we still can tell right now, still not sunset yet. But I believe right now it's a very beautiful scene. And also with the sunset globes with us. We also on the right hand side, this is the view from Xinjiang province. So this is quite different from where we are. We are right now at the Changbai Mountain, and the live picture from right hand side, that's from Xinjiang province. So also come to another question. I'd like to ask you, Wang Meng. So no matter it's total eclipse or annular eclipse or partial eclipse, it must happen at the first day of the month, as in the lunar calendar. Do you know why? That's maybe related to the new moon. So I only can read out the explanation. So we talk about why for the lunar calendar, actually that's based on the change of the moon. So when the moon moved in between of the moon, the sun and the earth, that's the new moon. I understand it's really hard to understand because I also confuse myself. We talk about the solar eclipse happened in the first of the months. That's based on the lunar calendar. And we also talk about the moon eclipse that often happened on the 15th of the month. It's all follow the lunar calendar. We talk about that's the Chinese calendar. So that calendar actually our ancestors. They are brilliant people because they set up the whole calendar based on the change of the moon. So we talk about there are a lot of Chinese wisdoms that reflect the change of the moon and the sun. And we talk about the moon eclipse that always fall on the 15th of the month of our lunar calendar. So this is the Chinese wisdom. So this is some pattern that we can follow. So I would like to share you my understanding is actually the sun, the moon, the earth, they all run together. So the first of the month, the first day of the month, the moon catch up with the sun. So I give you a closer shot. This is the colorful cloud. We'll talk about that this is the colorful lucky clouds. Yes, that's in the middle of our live picture. We'll talk about the colorful cloud. That's also the lucky cloud in Chinese. So this is something quite often be seen in Changbai Mountain, especially in the summer season. So the people think like if we can see this cloud, that's bring the good luck to ourselves. So we talk about that's the light of Buddha. So I can share with our audience that from our naked eye, the whole view is really beautiful and graceful. So the places we're at is Ardao Baihe County, and this is the Changbai Mountain. So we talk about this place. Actually, we also have the river surrounding. So with this beautiful cloud up in the air, and we also have the rivers near us, and we are at the best position to view this beautiful scene. I believe really lucky to us, and we always talk about people if they can see this colorful cloud, which people consider this as the light of Buddha. So anyone you can see this, which means you will be very lucky and you will have a very happy life. So this is the sunset glow with 1,000 beams.
但是现在我有一种期待，假如说这个日偏食逐渐达到食神的时候，
We talk about
天狗
when we come into the totality.
的时候，然后
So which means that the dog but the moon, that will be very dark, and then coming to the last contact, and will also come back to the light. So we maybe not can really see directly the change of the sun, but the cloud and the surroundings can really reflect the change of the sun and the moon. So we talk about the size.
它离地球很近，然后这样的话呢，它也会起到这种人小鬼大的作用。就是影子会非常大。对对。
We talk about the sun's distance from Earth is about 400 times the moon's distance, and the sun's diameter is about 400 times the moon's diameter.
层一层的，远处像那个梯田一样的。
So right now it's coming to the perigee. So which means coming to its nearest position to the sun. So really hope today we have a very thinner layers of cloud, and we can see egg yellow colored solar. So for these beautiful things, we always can think about different graceful and familiar piece of music or poems.
古道西风瘦马，夕阳西下断肠人在天涯。但是这个比较悲观啊。对，但是好像很多说夕阳的这个都觉得说夕阳无限好，可只是近黄昏。
We talk about the sunset or twilight. It shows the romantic scene, but also, of course, this depends on the different people. From the young generation, from the kids, they always think everything in a very positive way, but we also, based on the different background of education, you still can also think of some poems, but in a very negative way. So we talk about the sunset as a song we shared with our viewers. So this is our quite familiar songs back to our childhood. And then right now it's coming to the summer vacation. I believe that's really the happiest time. And especially for our young generations, like we can play with our friends for the whole day, and when the sun sets, it means it's time to go back home with the sense of fulfillment and happiness. So we are at the Changbai mountain. So whatever you see, we always want our viewers can have that fulfillment, sense of fulfillment and happiness. And also it's a time to look back of this year. So what we have achieved and what's on our to-do list. So I believe some of our viewers, of course, for our live stream, that's face to our viewers from different areas, and also that have the different view of the partial eclipse. And we are right now at the Changbai mountain, but of course, one more time to highlight, please do not look directly to the sun. Please bring the eye protectors. Otherwise, it will damage your eyes or make your blindness. So for all our viewers, please bring something to protect yourself. So sunglasses actually are not good enough. For the goggles, please bring them to protect yourself. So we talk about looking directly at the sun can lead to permanent eye damage or blindness. So special eye protection or indirect viewing techniques are used when viewing a solar eclipse. So although today is quite cloudy at the places where we are right now at Baihe County, and still, no matter where you are, if you want to view today's solar eclipse, please bring the eye protection, the special eye contact protection with you. Otherwise, it will cause a huge damage to your eyes. So especially our viewers at the Xinjiang province, I believe they're still quite bright. So please bring the goggles with you to protect yourself. So for the harmful substance, or we talk about the harmful rays, actually, the normal sunglasses cannot block them. So for all our viewers, maybe you not really feel painful, but still, it will cause a huge damage to your eyes. So please do not look directly at the sun. So we are right now at the Changbai mountain. It's a little bit cloudy, so I think we're coming to some thinner layer of the cloud, but still the scene is so beautiful. But we talk about for the normal day is right now becoming darker. So what's the time for sunset, especially as normally happened after 7 o'clock? So that's 19 o'clock local time. So yesterday, if my memory is correct, the sunset happened around 1902 local time. So I believe right now the eclipse already happening, is undergoing. We cannot really identify it from our naked eye, but we can tell right now it's quite dark. So for our viewers, actually you can see a lot of black parts. That's all the forest. We are right now at the Changbai mountain. A lot of forest here actually in our scene. So we have that colorful clouds up in the air, sunset, and also we have that the green and lucid mountains and forests. Hope later on we can bring more cutting-edge equipment to Changbai Mountain to bring better view for our viewers. So from the flow of the cloud, we can tell the thicker layers already gone. And now we have, I can tell 3 different colors of the cloud. So from the top to down, although they're all of course white clouds, but in our eyes they reflect in different colors. So we have a gray, black, or even gold. So the golden clouds will be very near the sun. We talk about the first time of a live streaming of total eclipse that can trace back to 1997. So based on
预报的话，我看一下，应该是
the time schedule.
从18:02分。
So we talk about from 1802. That's the first contact, and then we are very soon should be the totality. So that totality will be happened at 1843 local time. So that's the time the dog bat the sun. So right now we consider that the dog started already bat the sun, and for the totality will be the largest bat.
而且后面的那个绿油油的这个森林呢，大家要细看的话，还可以看得到的。
So hope our audience can also see some greens at the background. That's our old forest at the Changbai Mountain. So I think right now the weather is really cool. So right now I believe temperature is even lower than 20 degrees Celsius. So the time differences between morning and evening would be 10 degrees Celsius. Let's say right now it's 20 degrees Celsius, and for the noontime it would be 30 degrees Celsius. So today the temperature at noontime was around 30 degrees Celsius. So right now just around 18 degrees Celsius. So it's really cool weather. So right now we can tell the scene also changed a little bit. Our clouds also right now presents in different formation. I don't know whether this is a very good inspiration for our painters or people like to draw the pictures, because this is a really beautiful thing, can inspire them, also can create a lot of beautiful pictures. So we hope we can have a thinner layer of clouds, but right now still we are waiting. We are at the top position of the Changbai Mountain. We believe we're at the peak of the Changbai Mountain, and this is the best place to view the partial solar eclipse at the Changbai Mountain. And unfortunately, the cloud is a little bit thicker. We cannot really see the eclipse or the whole process of the partial eclipse that clearly. But from the cloud, and especially the formation and different color it presents, we can tell right now it's very soon coming to the totality. If you are the astronomical amateurs, I can tell this is something you cannot miss. And also this is the only time of partial eclipse happen this year in China. And we just some birds, I believe, right now. Because we right now see a lot of birds that just flew from the left to the right of our live stream, which means they are on the way back home. So they captured food, and right now it's time for them to go back home. So let's give our viewer a closer look. So let's see whether we can see something different. And we can tell the different layers of the clouds. For Changbai Mountain, the good thing is right now it's not raining, but still have a quite thick cloud. But on the right-hand side, this is a live picture from Xinjiang province, and we also have a lot of audience with us on the field, and also a lot of young generations. They are really excited, waiting the totality. So we can see the very good lightning here, but still it's quite bright at the Changbai Mountain. So people here are waiting the eclipse because we're right quite at the top position, and this is the best place. So it's the best place to view the whole process of the partial eclipse. And at this very cool weather. So people can here enjoy the partial eclipse and also the beautiful view of the whole city. Of course, as well as the Changbai Mountain. So people right now in different places quite tortured by the really hot weather. So I can tell our viewers, especially if you just tune in, we are at the Changbai Mountain. And this is the best place to cool yourself. And also would like to emphasize one more time, this is the one and only time that we can view this partial eclipse in China. And for the majority of northern part of China can view this. So for the southern part of China, like Guangdong province, Fujian province, and the southern part of Guizhou province, Yunnan province, the western part of Guangxi province. So unfortunately, if you are right now at the southwest or southeast in China, then maybe you cannot really see the partial eclipse. But if you are at the northern part of China, you will be good enough and very lucky to see the whole process of the partial eclipse. And hope you can see the yellow colored sun. So we talk about for our viewers, if you are right now in the northern part of China, and maybe also can go outside to view and enjoy the good scene of the partial eclipse.
会在局部地区形成一个云洞，巨大的云洞。这个云洞呢，很可能就是你观察这次日全食。
So like maybe you think about like right now it's a cloudy and we can tell like the cloud coming together also can create a hole of cloud that maybe just happen in a second, but you are very lucky enough to view the whole eclipse through that cloudy hole. And if not a big raining, so just cloudy, I think the viewers is also good for you to go outside to look at least 80% of the partial eclipse.
就是东边日出西边雨。
对对对，所以这个走出家门来，然后如果说你能看到的话，不妨就跟我们进行一下互动，告诉我们那边是一个什么样的状态。
So for our viewers, I really encourage you to go outside to look at the partial eclipse.
你们那种很专业的那种，是吧？
把手机调好，低下头，闭着眼睛照，因为要保护眼睛。
And also like to emphasize that do not look directly at the sun.
但是是我个人的经验，跟大家稍微分享一下，不一定很专业。
So my personal experience I would like to share with you is like my phone right now is smart enough because you just touch your screen, it can help you to focus. So you focus the sun.
因为我们拍天狗咬日最重要的是拍太阳嘛，对吧？所以说太阳。
But you think maybe it will be exposure, but to worry about it because we want to capture that totality. So want to really capture that momentum of totality. So bring your phone and put the focus on the sun. That's my personal experience. So that put your focus on the sun.
然后有的手机可能它要推上去的话，一拉大的话就变得不清楚了，像有。
现在的手机很智能的。
也智能，对对，很智能。它会处理一下。
对。
好。还有哪些诗句呢？你觉得比较让我们难忘、此情此景，对吧？就是你有生以来印象
So for this beautiful scene, I believe a totality already happened. That should happen that at a local time, 1843. So we talk about the memory of twilight or sunset. Any stories you would like to share with us or share with our audience?
也确实看到过，就比如说我曾经看到过我们这个当地的一对年龄非常大的这个老夫妇，在夕阳下俩人牵手慢慢。
We talk about actually it's a very love scene happened. So like I saw the elder couple. They went back home. Hand in hand. That's a very romantic scene. And I hope that many years later, my beloved one and I will also do the same thing, to hand in hand, and to spend the rest of our life together. It's a very beautiful and romantic scene. So that happened at the sunset. We talk about the sense of fulfillment, the sense of happiness. So that's the very beautiful scenes. So we talk about accompany is everything. So that today we accompany our viewers to view the whole process of the partial eclipse.
没有，我当然我这个神经比较大条，没有你那么细。我的印象比较深刻，就是在一个南方的一个海岛上，
So talk about myself is at the southern part of China, is on the beach. So it's a very good weather. So that's the coastal city, just in a second. So I hold my camera. I would like to capture sunset, but I actually only took one picture. So we talk about where I can tell that under that moment, I realize again that time flies. It's so fast. We talk about we should cherish the time. And of course, that's also after I had my first job, I worked. We talk about the time it really flies. So that also encouraged me to cherish the time. And we talk about time is priceless and also precious. So any time, we talk about every time when I waste my time or want to be lazy, I don't want to work, I always can remember that scene. It's a really good memory for me. We talk about that small moment always reflects our whole life. We talk about actually the philosophy behind it the same. From the very small thing that's really just a second that can reflect our whole life. That philosophy actually applies. And same for the poem. I believe the philosophy brought by the poems, that's all the big thinking or the deep thinking of our life. So I also want to through all these beautiful scenes, a moment, the second, to encourage ourselves to cherish our memory, to cherish the time, and also let's back to the scene.
按照这个。
To all our viewers, right now we bring you the live stream from Changbai Mountain, and I believe totality already happened. Right now coming to the fourth contact. So fourth contact, also the last contact of the whole partial solar eclipse. So we didn't see the whole process, especially the moment of totality. But fortunately, we see so beautiful sunset clouds. And on the right-hand side, you can see the live picture from Xinjiang province. This is a really good scene and very clear view of the whole process of the partial eclipse. So for the northern part of China, it's really good condition for them to see the whole process of partial eclipse. So this is also the last time of solar eclipse happened this year in China. So we have very good clouds in different formations and different colors. So I believe based on our schedule, the last contact, the fourth contact will happen after 7 o'clock p.m. local time. So we have a lot of visitors actually here at the Changbai Mountain to enjoy the beautiful scene, and also the weather is quite cool, so it's a very nice place to spend the rest time of the summer, because right now only around 20 degrees Celsius. So for the people, especially in the southern part of China, if you are tortured by the high temperature, welcome to Changbai Mountain. So at this moment, I believe I don't know what kind of song is coming to your mind. There are actually a lot of good songs to describe this beautiful and graceful scene. And we can tell right now it's coming darker and darker, and coming to the evening time. So let's think about what kind of background music is good for today's live stream, especially to end today's live stream. So for me, I think about some romantic songs, anything. Love story song. I can remember one song from Jackie Chan. So we talk about Baby. This is a very famous song from Jackie Chan. We talk about under this very beautiful scene. So let's intoxicate ourselves under this beautiful scene, and to rest ourselves and welcome tomorrow, to welcome the sunrise. So with very beautiful and romantic song from Jackie Chan, let's intoxicate ourselves and wish all our viewers happy weekends and enjoy a beautiful night in the summer. No matter you enjoy the eclipse or not, enjoy yourself. Nothing can be always perfect, but that's the beauty of life.